I want to stay in the EPL here. We have another match picked out for this one. It's Arsenal and Manchester United. You want to talk about two underwhelming teams we just hit on. These are two teams that have been red hot recently. And look, you had your video last week about why now is the time to jump on Arsenal to win the league. And there are a lot of comments saying that the real value is in United to win the league. Obviously, this match, Sunday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time, is really going to sway things here. Two really hot teams. Which way are you leaning?
Well, it's interesting because when Arsenal again was starting super hot to the year, United was down in the dumps. United pulls out a win. Just crazy. Shows why the Premier League is the Premier League. No Casemiro again. Also the same case earlier in the year. And with that, I think the draw against Palace midweek, I think Arsenal definitely benefited from something like that. United dropping those types of points. We saw City come back yesterday against Spurs. That was obviously massive for them. I'm kind of sticking a little bit to what we did last week, and that's Arsenal money line, straight play. I like Arsenal money line in over 1.5 at plus 130. That's on BetMGM. For me, I really trust where Arsenal is at this point. I think there's genuine belief that they could do this. There's not that many matches left against the top sides, and again, you have to play who you have to play. Everyone has the same schedule. This right here. Okay, this victory over Manchester United could really put them in the driver's seat, right?
Yep.
If they're not already. And then again, if you did like Arsenal future, I think it's around minus 110 last time I checked. So we'll see what happens with that. De Bruyne has an injury as well for City. If you want to take into account that much. With this one, I don't love the totals too much because despite United missing some players like Casemiro, they are a good defensive team. Arsenal have been a stout defensive team. And with that, I'm not expecting too many goal scoring chances. United did just drop that midweek with the Michael Olise goal against Palace. I think there's just something that's going to be grinded out here because it's a high pressure situation because United are right on City's tails. They had that big win over them last week. And then again, with Arsenal, it's more of the same because it's just one step closer. And for me, Arsenal's just been the most reliable team in all of Europe besides Napoli this season. And I'm going to stick with that because, again, Matthias, we said this. No Gabriel Jesus. They've actually been really good without him. And that's pretty crazy to say. And now they did that against teams that we were a little worried about. I was personally worried about. I'm not too worried about with United in that sense. I think their guard is going to be up regardless. And Bukayo Saka, man, again, if the anytime goal or assist as well, I'm not saying play it. It's hard not to ignore that because I think there's something there. We're talking player of the year for the Premier League in that sense.
I mean, there's just so much good young talent on that Arsenal team that sometimes, honestly, it's hard to just weed through and be like, all right, who do I go with this game, or do I just go with all three of them every game? I really like the second half to be the highest scoring half here. You can get that at minus 110 on DraftKings. I kind of just went off of, United has been scoring a lot of late goals, just going back to that City game as well. And they've scored, I think it's in the last 2 weeks, 3 second half goals, like after the 70th minute. So I was like, okay, let me see if I can just find a random stat to back me up here. And it turns out that Arsenal is actually second in expected goals on average in the second half. So that's all I need to see. You can get it in the first half, I believe, on DraftKings. It was at like plus 200. So, I mean, if you want to go just straight by value and just, kind of bank on like a 1-0 win or something like that, I guess you can. But, I mean, I may be a little deterred just off of, high stakes game. And I know it's not going to follow the same suit as like City and Spurs, but I like betting on things that I then can root for as well. If I'm not completely hedging my happiness, I do think that the second half, even 1 or 2 goals, because I agree, I don't think we're going to see a lot of goals come Sunday. I think that's what I'm going to rock with for this game.
Yeah, definitely. I understand where you're coming from. Even it's kind of getting into that Fergie time, if people understand that reference,
Mhm,
where Manchester United during the Sir Alex Ferguson era, even then when they were getting late into games, they were just pulling goals out of nowhere, and
mhm,
and that always comes with the sense of belief in a team that's really knows how to win, and taking that next step. That hey, we might have missed a few chances in the first half, even the first 65 to 70 minutes, but we have 20 minutes, and 20 minutes is a lot of time. And if we've seen this
mhm.
sport, we've seen the Premier League, especially where the most iconic like domestic league moment of the past 20 years was Manchester City scoring multiple goals in stoppage time.
Yep.
It's possible. And then again, this is the last time they play each other. So say it gets close later in the season where you go head to head and it's goal differential and it's all those kind of things. This is what matters in a match like this. And again,
Mhm.
if you're trying to get into this sport as well, just fan perspective, this is the one this week. This is a really good one. I know, yes,
Yep.
with Chelsea and Liverpool, it's bigger names, not too good looking.
Yeah.
But this one on Sunday, right before all your NFL games, then you get yourself situated. This is the one to rock with.